Hey everyone, welcome back to another Living Well is a Lifestyle vlog with Dr. Eve. And we're still adding on to our containers as we plant out more of our herbs in isolation so that we know how to care for them, because some of them they obviously have different needs. And so one of the things that I have discovered in my journey of gardening is that when you plant two, if you don't understand the plants and you're planting them all together, then something's going to suffer because it doesn't either need the water, doesn't need the water, maybe needs a different soil type, etc., etc. So thank you all for being here, and we're going to be talking up next on our list is sage. I have a potted sage, and I have one that's kind of old, and I'm going to repot her because she has, some leaves on her and some new babies on her as well. And so I'm thinking, hey, we might as well just do her well and give her a new container so that she can thrive. But I want to talk to you a little bit about caring for sage so that we are um, educating you as well as sharing methods of growing. Here in this series, we're talking about growing in containers, more specifically because from our nonprofit community, we're hearing the voices of individuals who say, yeah, my basic needs are getting met, but I want to live more long term. I want to build in systems of longevity where I don't have to always depend on or go to, or depend on systems to help me if I can help myself. That is some of the voices of the people that is being shared. And so we're going to be talking a little bit more about how to care for these plants, as well as build out a garden maybe that you don't have land, but you have a patio, or you have bags, or you have a container garden. So in essence, that's what we're going to be talking about. So sage is a pretty hardy, very hardy. As a matter of fact, it will make it through the winter, just like this one did. It will die back and it will come back, and sometimes it don't even die back. It loves full sun, which it needs to have 6 to 8 hours. So that's something to know, because right now I am educating myself on all of these herbs so that I plant them and position them to be successful. It likes to be well drained soil, so a pot is a good thing. But it also loves sandy oil, so it also has a high pH. It likes a high pH level, like blueberries and like that chive over there. And I think also the what is that we planted earlier, the oregano, all like sandy or have a high pH. Some like sandy soil though. Sage is one of those that was mentioned liking sandy soil that I did not see in my other herbs. So that's good to know. So if you are interested, it says only water when the top 1 to 2 inches of the soil is dry. So you will have to put yourself on a schedule, of checking your plants, or put your plants on a written schedule of when you need to tend to that. That is part of having success when you are growing in a garden and in containers. What are some other things about sage you need to know? Okay, it says it prefers dry to moderate soil conditions. So you don't want to be overwatering it. Yes, if it loves sand, it probably does like moderate soil conditions. And now if you're planting out, we're not talking about planting out on the yard. We're talking about planting in pots, but you want to space them out. It says fertilize them sparingly. So like last year was fertilizing everything, but here it is that this one says fertilize sparingly. I didn't know that. So when I was giving it fertilizer, I could have been giving it too much nitrogen that it did not need, right? So it maybe needed a little more balance, right? So that's something to consider. Um, it says that prune in early spring to maintain the busyness and prevent woody spars. So in the spring. So I consider this not spring, late fall, but I know that it is winter hardy. So we're gonna go ahead and repot these two. Like I said, I bought this from this was in a container that was coupled with um, a lot of other herbs, and we note now that they didn't belong together. So that is the whole point of really checking, like, what do you want to do different this year. And for me is I want to have more success than ever. And so it said not to prune it back, but until spring. But I think I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm cutting it at the nodes so that it can continue to grow. So I think this one is actually, yeah, it's growing a little bit. So I don't want to cut it there, but I will cut it at the root right there, at the bend. So we will leave these two, this one, cut this one down a notch, and this one down to the node, okay? Because that's where it's going to get its new roots. Now this one also has a really long root line. So I'm going to cut it because it's okay. You're not disturbing the root. You're just giving it some more ability to thrive. That's how I see it. So that's one we're going to plant in the pot, but we're going to plant these two together. This is one that I had. This was a store-bought. This one was grown from seed, and this one was a store-bought. But it's looking kind of bad and sad. So now we know why. I don't like a whole lot of water. It likes sandy soil. It likes high pH, and none of the things that I actually was knowledgeable about. And now that I'm going to take care with a deeper level of care. So if you're gonna grow, you want to make sure, like, I might know a lot about the garden, but I don't know every single one of these plants, but it's my intention to do better, right? Can we? Absolutely, because this is where our food comes from. Sage is a great medicinal herb that is also used as a tea as well. I have plenty of it, but I want to keep growing it. So because I need to make sure that when those times come around and there's inflammation, that I have sage in my cabinet somewhere, because it is anti-inflammatory and it does really good things for the lungs. Yeah, so I say, let us prepare. The handwriting is on the wall. Um, Let us, be intentional about taking care of our families and making sure that we have what we need. And what you see me doing is literally just cutting back some of the dead leaves before I put her into the new soil. So I'm cutting it back, getting her ready for a nice hardy. It has a lot of new buds on it though, so I can tell it might be dry. It ain't even dry though, because it still feels like it's pretty moist, but it doesn't need to be watered that often. So having the knowledge of knowing that it does like well drained, it doesn't like it, you got it 1 to 2 inches dry at the top. It doesn't want a whole lot of water. It likes a high pH. So we can repeat those things to ourselves so that we have um, optimal knowledge about the things that we are growing. So she has been cut back and we are going to plant her. I've already prepared the soil. This video is a part of a playlist on containers, and you will find a moderating soil at the top of this playlist. So check that out. Check out the series of different things we've planted so far as I continue to improve on how we organize our videos and how we share information so that you can grow. For those of you who don't know, I am a local researcher. So I help organizations to, work on the project management side of internal qualitative research, to hear the voices of their member base so that they can improve their services and make sure they're providing the best services that will get their clients to sustainable well-being. And so that's what it's all about for me. I am a qualitative researcher, and I love hearing the voices of those with lived experience. So we have a pot that's already prepared, and we're going to, right here, we're using all of our pots around here, old, amending the soil, and we are just building out our capacity to use what we have. Okay, so this one we're gonna put this one in first, and we're gonna let her hang out on the side somewhere, because wow, she is kind of hefty in growth, and we're gonna put her pretty deep because she has not a big root ball, but she has a lot of woodiness to her. So we want to put her down pretty low and let her grow. So we put her hanging out on the side. She's nice and sturdy. And then we're going to position this one in the center so we can have a lot of balance. So this plant actually is quite moist. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing green, like not bacteria, but I guess algae growing on the top. But we're going to go ahead and get her to a safe place of not so much water. She doesn't like a lot of water. We know that now. So I'm digging from the center so I can give her some space to stretch out, expand the soil. What I probably should have done though is, like I did for all the rest, is loosen the soil, because this soil is moist. So we're gonna just go back and loosen the soil before we put her in there, in her proper place, right? I love that. When they get her, we're not disturbing her roots. We're just getting some of the soil off, so that she can thrive in the way that she likes to thrive, without all of that moisture, right? So, but it's nice and moist in there anyway, so we're gonna pull that up a little bit, and we're gonna place her front and center in this pot, down in the middle, and nice and deep. Yeah, so there we go. Got her all potted up. Y'all, I am loving this whole transplant idea, because I'm getting to know my plants. Like I said, I love sage. I've been growing it for a long time. I've got plenty of it, but I want to grow more, and I want to seed more. So these two I'm transplanting, and to an up pot, so that she can thrive. She's got a bunch of beautiful new leaves that are coming forth, and she's been cut back, and yeah, so there we have it, everyone. We have sage on deck. Sage is on deck, and she's looking beautiful. We're going to put her down front and center where she can get a lot of sun, because she needs 6 to 8 hours of sun. So that's what we're going to do. Again, I'm Dr. Eve. Hope you enjoyed the video. May you have the most amazing day, and whatever you do, don't let anybody get in the way on your journey to becoming who God has called you to become. Have the most amazing day, and until next time, bye for now.